video. I don't think I've done a sit down chatty type video like this for quite a while, so a little bit strange. So for anyone who has a child of a certain age, and I'm talking maybe the age where they're at nursery or they've just started school, then you're probably going to relate to this video. Yes, I'm talking about the dreaded party invite and kids' parties in general. I mean, there might be some people out there who absolutely love them, and I mean, they're not all bad, but generally they're quite stressful. So what say we run down a list of some of the most annoying things about kids' parties? Let's go. So you've accepted the party invite, your child really wants to go to their friend's party. Then you've got the fun task of finding a gift that's below £5 that doesn't look like a complete and utter tat. You don't want to be spending all your hard-earned money on every child in the class that decides to have a party. I mean, that's a lot of money over a year. You add that up. I mean, some classes have more than 30 kids, so yeah, you do the math, because I can't actually be bothered. Okay, so you've accepted the invitation, you've got the present, you go to the party, which, let's face it, parents have to mentally prepare for, because it can be quite a tricky social situation. Then you have to make small talk with the other parents who you don't usually associate with. You don't know if they're going to get your weird sense of humour. They probably won't. That's what I always find anyway, so I just end up sidling off into a corner on my own to play with the balloons. The next annoying thing about kids' parties is knowing you'll probably feel guilty, whether it's the fact that you can't afford to provide your child a party that even compares to their friends, whether it's the fact that you've bought the shittiest present of the bunch, or the fact that you didn't buy your child a special dress just to wear to this specific party. Okay, now let's just assume you didn't actually accept the invite to the party, you don't want your child to go, or you can't be bothered to buy the kid a present. Now you've got to avoid the kids' parents who keep pestering you to ask whether your child is going to go or not. That's when the awkward conversation starts of you having to make wild excuses as to why your child can't go, and not the fact that you're a cheapskate and can't be bothered to take your child. Another thing I always dread, but I know for a fact is going to be involved in every single kids' party I take my daughter to, is pass the bloody parcel. So whoever's in charge of the music usually stops it so that every child has a go at some point. Hello, Alex. We've got a visitor. We've got a visitor. You may have to just deal with him because he's very noisy. Sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. And one of the children will probably get something that the other children see as so much better than their gift. So then they'll probably have something I refer to as a pass the parcel meltdown. Okay, so the next tricky thing about going to kids' parties is trying to decide whether the adults are allowed to eat any of the leftover food or not. Now, I've been to some parties where there's a ton of food and people will say, oh, you know, adults, help yourselves. But then you'll also get parties where, let's just say the catering is a little bit more stingy and you feel guilty about stealing a Pringle or a sausage roll. Next up is mentally preparing yourself for Balloongate. No matter how many different colour balloons you have, a fight will most likely break out between the kids. If one child picks up a particularly beautiful purple balloon and another child wants it, oh my god, what is it with balloons? Why do kids fight over balloons? And the last and probably most annoying thing about other kids' parties is knowing that your child will most probably want something very much akin to what they've just experienced. You know in the back of your mind you probably can't afford a party like that, and you probably can't be bothered to organise it either. But your child is adamant that that's what they want, and they will probably pester you all the way up until their birthday for the same kind of party. Yeah, you'll never hear the end of it. That is why I like to avoid as many parties as I can. Don't get me wrong, it's nice for kids to have parties to go to and events. Am I jealous that my daughter has a fuller social calendar than I do? No. No. Anyway, thank you very much if you got to the end of this ranty video. Enjoy any parties you may be going to in the near future. And good luck if it's a kids' party.